Greetings, YouTube. This is Rhett at Rolling Forward. Thanks for joining me today. And recently we have spoken about my change from my relocation from the intensive care unit, moving downstairs in the hospital to the extended care unit, and having some roommates with some stability in that it was, as I entered the room, being rolled in to the extended care room, which was a good sized room. It was already occupied by two people. I was the third person, and I'm being rolled in. It's more or less midday, I think. I don't remember precisely. But I'm entering the room, and it's a more open, more lighted area of the hospital. And I recently just spoke about the two occupants. I'm going to speak a little bit more about them today, right now. But I'm still, remember, I'm still in bed all the time, 24 hours a day. I am in that circ electric bed that you just heard about, including our state-of-the-art graphic display technology here. And so there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in my life. Again, this is April in 1968. The Vietnam War is building up. The Tet Offensive is just about over, although it's pretty bad news. Highest death counts for American soldiers in the year to date. Martin Luther King was assassinated on April 4th, so just talking a couple of weeks ahead of this time right now. So a lot going on in the world. I'm preoccupied with my change in life, to say the least. I'm also overwhelmed with information and fear, sadness, grief, all those emotions. On the one hand, I am becoming more and more aware of the realities of my situation, and at the same time, that small growth in awareness helps me understand just how little I know about what's coming, both in the social sense, the physical sense. What is my future? Do I have a future? I don't even know. But this new room, this new environment, the extended care area of the hospital, there are two people who are already in the room and have been in the room together for an extended period of time. There are medical personnel coming in and out regularly, and there are other times when the three of us are alone in the room, talking, listening to music. There are times when one of these other individuals might be going out of the room to, for example, a physical therapy appointment, just down the hallway, basically, in the extended care area of the hospital. So I mentioned there are two guys. One of them is the older. He was probably mid-40s, a Mexican man, was a paraplegic due to a spinal cord injury. He had been injured for several years. I don't remember how long, maybe more than several years, but he had developed a pressure sore on his tailbone, on his butt, and so he was in the hospital to have surgery on the sore. And at the point when I moved into that room, the wound was healed following surgery, and he would go just about every day to a physical therapy room where he would get in a whirlpool, like a hot tub, Um, and the goal was to get the skin as healthy as possible, and also to stretch the skin, because he had been flat, not in a sitting position for so long that they had to do some stretching of the skin. And so they would soak it for a while in water, and then that would soften it a little bit, and then begin to bend him into a sitting position. And that was kind of his deal. And he was a nice guy, family guy. I believe he was divorced. A couple of grown kids, I think, visited regularly, every couple times a week, probably. And he, I remember, used to save up his sleeping pills given to him by the hospital, and some friend, would bring by a bottle of vodka on a Friday night, and it was party time in the extended care unit. He was certainly not a wild and crazy guy, but he was a regular guy, enjoying himself and trying to get better. He indicated to me that I could call him anytime for help with any of the staff. If I needed something, let him know, and he would, get the call button going, hollering out the door, that he could count on me to help me, and at the time I thought it was nice. In retrospect, I think it was really nice to give me some sense that somebody was looking out for me, and it was a good thing. The younger guy, also a Mexican guy, probably about 20, his extended family visited him every day, every day, including his grandmother, who often brought homemade Mexican food, and it was always offered to me, hey, you want some, you want some? And, before long, we became quite friendly, I would say. And he was also a joker, I think you could say. They were fun companions, good for me at the time, and looking back, quite good for me at the time. My mom, who was around almost every day, would often pick up fast food for me, getting tired of steady hospital food diet, and we would often, include them. Hey, you guys want a burger, or you guys want some pizza, that kind of thing, and it was very friendly, very social. My sister, at the time, was going to college, um, and she lived with my folks still, perhaps 60, 70 miles away. She had a college commute of probably 20 miles, and one day for a visit, she brought with her homework from a biology class, and the homework was to dissect a fetal pig, which she had in a metal tray, pinned to wax and ready to go. And going back to the circle electric bed, about which we just spoke, we timed it such that when I was turned from my back onto my stomach, and was thus just staring straight down at the floor, well, she simply sat on the floor and put the pig in front of her on the floor. I was looking straight down on them, and she and I both learned a little bit about fetal pig anatomy on that day, and it was entertaining to me. The other guys in the room thought it was a blast, thought it was, amusingly, I don't know what to say. My sister's quite gregarious, and everybody got along, and we were having a good time, generally speaking. Um, Now there was also times when, you know, there was a quiet time in the sense of nobody had anything to do. Um, Again, it's late April. And it's getting warmer in Riverside, California, and being a outdoor person and a beach kid, um, I would like to go out in the sun. I'd been in the hospital for a while, still in the bed, in the circle electric bed. So I finally convinced them that it would be no big deal for them simply to push me down the end of one hallway, out the door into a small, not quite a courtyard area, but between buildings, and take a little sun bath. Um, good for the body, good for the mind. And so, on one afternoon, I got them to push me outside in my circle bed. Here I am out on a sidewalk next to the buildings. It's a nice, warm day. There's occasional foot traffic, and it's getting a little breezy, a little windy. I'm enjoying the sun and the breeze, and I notice my sheet blowing away in the wind. I'm completely naked, laying there on my back in my circle electric bed, and can't I can't look around. Remember, I can only look straight up, or nearly straight up, and I can look a little bit to my side, but I can't really see much. On the one hand, I'm wanting someone to get there to, cover me up. On the other hand, I don't know that I want people coming by to view me here, lying naked. Eventually, of course, someone saw me. Someone got a hold of the medical staff, and a couple of them came out in a fast walk with a sheet, put it over, tucked it in, and I was annoyed, and maybe a little bit more than annoyed. By the time they pushed me in, the doors down the hallway, as I entered the room, they were both laughing out loud, rolling on the floor if they could have been, laughing and, giving me a hard time. And that was the atmosphere. And I was, kind of learning that I'm a changed person. I'm going to occupy a different place in our culture, but there is a place in our culture, and you can have fun. It is possible to have fun in the future. I'm not convinced, but I can see that there is a possibility for a future. And on that note, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel and show some support to my wife and I, who are doing this. And we are definitely trying to learn a little bit more about the technology of producing videos. But on that, now I will say ciao.